Elite Facts presents
7 things that will happen because of net neutrality ending. Yes, we know we're a little late to the party, but we need to address this. Just in case you've been living under a rock for the last week or so, net neutrality has been repealed by the FCC, and that means your online freedom is now in jeopardy. And if you're wondering what's the worst that could possibly happen, well, here are 7 things that will happen because of net neutrality ending. 8. Pay for certain website packages. Yeah, let's start with the very worst and most likely scenario to happen thanks to the repeal of net neutrality. So we imagine you're fairly happy with the price you're paying for your internet service, or at least moderately happy because, well, why else would you pay for it? Well, how would you like it if you were also charged in order to view certain websites on top of that? No? Well, tough crap, because it's probably going to happen. Oh, you want to use Facebook? Well, you have to buy the social media package for just $5.99. Unfortunately, that doesn't include Netflix or YouTube. You have to buy the streaming service package for another $10.99. Oh, and by the way, the streaming package doesn't include Spotify or Google Play. You need to get the music package for those services. And hey, we're not making this stuff up. Look at countries like Portugal who don't have net neutrality. They all have this. This could be the future for people living in the United States, and it ain't pretty.
7.
Skype may or may not be blocked. This one is pure speculation, but considering the fact that Skype has been blocked by several companies, it might be a sign of things to come. When Skype first came out on the market, we got to see firsthand exactly what internet providers do when nobody stops them. They'll block the competition. As far as they were concerned, Skype was a threat. Most internet providers also sold phone plans, and Skype was giving people a cheaper way to make phone calls. They didn't have any way of competing, so they decided that the best course of action would be to shut Skype down. Even worse than this, AT&T pressured Apple into blocking the Skype app on all iPhones, and they weren't the only ones to do it. Companies across the globe all followed suit, and most didn't stop at Skype. They blocked every program you could use to make phone calls online altogether. The complaint was that Skype was being unfair by, quote, not operating on a level playing field, or in other words, by having a better product. There was a new product and they couldn't compete, so they just blocked people from using it.
6.
Say goodbye to Netflix and chill. Now, before we go any further, yes, you will still be able to watch Netflix, but there'd be no point in watching it. Why? Well, because thanks to the repeal of net neutrality, internet service providers will strong-arm streaming services like Netflix, much like the mob. Now, what do we mean by this? Well, there's nothing to stop service providers from slowing down Netflix streaming speeds for their users unless they are paid more money. Yeah, it sounds like we're joking, but this has actually happened in the past. Only a few years ago, Comcast refused to stop slowing down their site until Netflix paid them money. In other words, Comcast blackmailed their competition by sabotaging them and refusing to stop until they paid them. And before net neutrality, all that was perfectly legal. And this was when net neutrality was still a thing. Imagine what it'll be like now.
5.
Say goodbye to Wi-Fi hotspots. When the technology to turn your phone into a Wi-Fi hotspot came out, Verizon Wireless thought they'd found a gold mine that meant they could squeeze every penny out of their customers. They started offering it as an add-on. For an extra $20 a month, they announced, their customers could use their phone's data plan through another device like a computer. It sounded great on paper, to Verizon. As you'd expect, customers didn't care for this feeble attempt at getting more money out of them. There wasn't any reason for anyone to give Verizon that $20. There were all kinds of apps available that let people turn their phones into Wi-Fi hotspots for free. So nobody was really jumping at the opportunity to pay Verizon for a free service. Verizon couldn't really compete with those apps, so they just shut them down. They put pressure on Google and got them to remove every Wi-Fi hotspot app from the marketplace. They literally shut down 11 smaller businesses because they couldn't compete with them.
4.
Telus blocked their workers' union's website. Now, okay, we've gone over some basic internet needs we all love and enjoy, but what about serious things that involve our professional lives? Let's start with workers' union websites. Now, this is only one reported incident, but who's to say this won't be a more frequent thing in the near future? In 2005, before Canada got net neutrality laws, the Canadian internet provider Telus did just that. Their workers were on strike, and the union had set up a website called Voices for Change that laid out their complaints and their demands. And guess what happened? Yep, Telus blocked it. That's right, they outright blocked it, so its customers couldn't see the union's website and, in the process, blocked them from another 766 websites hosted on the same server. That is downright petty. Just because they didn't like it, they made it so nobody else could browse through it. But here's the thing, without net neutrality, there will be no law against it happening again. This can happen as much as it wants to now, and we just have to live with it. People were protected if the government tried to censor them, but nobody could stop an internet provider from doing it. In the end, Telus got a tongue lashing, but they weren't even fined a dime.
2,
Small businesses will suffer the most from this. If you're a small online retailer, your chances of surviving the next 2 years without net neutrality are slim to none. With the previously mentioned service packages, their sales and their online influence will take a drastic hit. Small businesses struggle to stay afloat as it is, so adding social media packages at a different cost is really hurting them. Yes, it's only $5, but businesses are scraping at the bottom of the barrel to make a profit as it is. Not to mention, sales will most likely be down, depending on if shopping websites are given their own service package like social media and streaming websites. Just remember, to a lot of small businesses, every penny counts, and those pennies are going straight into the pockets of the internet service providers if this is the road we're heading down.
1,
Verizon has openly admitted that they plan on censoring the internet. If this wasn't a dead giveaway to how screwed this internet was before the laws were repealed, then we don't know what else was. For anyone with Verizon, we would seriously consider swapping to a different service provider. I mean, they're all bad, but go with the lesser of the evils. Anyway, a Verizon attorney told the FCC that they believed that as broadband providers, they, quote, transmit the speech of others, and therefore they deserve the right to what they call, quote, editorial discretion. Their attorney said, quote, just as a newspaper is entitled to decide which content to publish and where, broadband providers may feature some content over others. Everyone has the freedom to express themselves on the internet, and Verizon, as well as other internet service providers out there, would love nothing more than to abolish it. Well, congratulations, they got what they wanted. They want to be able to choose what goes online and what gets censored from it, and now they have that power. Even when the FCC pushed them and asked if they planned on blocking websites, the attorney still didn't deny that his company planned on censoring the internet. Don't look at this as the end. Since the announcement that net neutrality is being repealed, numerous states, including New York, California, Illinois, Maine, Kentucky, Maryland, and Massachusetts, just to name a few, have all come together and are suing the FCC as a way to preserve the open internet protections. You too can help by writing to your congressman and signing a multitude of petitions available online. And thanks for watching our video while you can.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.